Yes, thank you. So as for the US, we are planning to grow primarily by focusing on certain products that will give us a bit of a hedge over the others. Those are primarily complex, how to develop type of products. We have 25 of them. We are going to launch Revlimid in the next coming months, and more to follow. We believe that the US will continue to grow in about a single digit, also in the next coming years. As for the branded market, especially India, we see that as the main growth driver for the company, which will drive faster than the United States with a double-digit growth.
Right. Which are the other key emerging markets that you're looking for in this branded business?
The main key markets are, beside India, are Russia, China, Brazil. Recently, we are also working and developing Europe, primarily around Germany. And then there is a very important play of B2B hospital play, which will include the biosimilars that will be complementary. But if you wish, leverage the files that we are selling to the countries I mentioned.
Our API business has been very volatile. It's seen a lot of challenges, ex the COVID 2-3 quarters that were there. Can you just talk to us about the API business, and given the recent challenges, what is the outlook?
Yeah, so I'm very optimistic about the API. The challenges were naturally the rise of the commodity prices, as long as the decline of the prices in the US that as a second effect come into the API suppliers as well. We don't see the API necessarily just as a selling for third party. The primary goal of the API is to make our products as a back integrated competitive. In addition to that, we are selling also pharmaceuticals as with the group B2B all over the world. So the main mission of our API guys is basically to take market share in market in which we do not have direct access with our salespeople.
When I look at the presentation, Horizon 2.0 gives us some exciting opportunities and some exciting new therapies as well. When we talk about immuno, onco, NCE, we talk about various elaboration in gestation, affordability. How will all of these therapies and digital connect play out together?
Yeah, so they are all basically based on the same platforms. So if you take, for example, biologics, biologics are basically are 70+% of the patent expiration, so and naturally gives a room for the biosimilars, but also major part of the future development, especially in the area of CAR-T, gene therapy, mRNA, and stuff like that. So companies that will not be in the biologics will have a challenge in the next decade or so. So it was very clear to us that basically using the same sites that we have, the same scientists, we can do actually both as it's related to the same infrastructure. So that's the type of activity that we have. If you take all the rest of the activities, they are all in the same manner. So they are all leveraging the sales team that we have, the platforms that we have, the site that we have, and are connected very nicely. And we hope to do something that is profound, something that India will be proud of us.
So can you talk more about productivity as well? Everybody is talking about sales growth, how things will move, new therapy. Can you talk about what are the methods for better productivity in this 2.0? How will this get competitive advantage to a large scale company like Dr.Reddy's?
Sure. When you want to take a market share, it's very important the cost structure will be relevant so you can offer the relevant prices to the relevant customers globally. We understood that, and we are working on productivity for the last 4 years. In addition to that, we are harnessing the digital, and with the digital platforms and the automation mechanization, it allows you to go to a very, very different scale of productivity, because you can do it without touching. The process is much, much faster, and you can use artificial intelligence to streamline your data and to make your product much, much more productive. So if you wish, it's faster, it's cheaper, it goes directly to the market, get better engagement with the customers, And in every parameters, we see double digit and more of improvement in productivity.
When we just talk about the US business, not for your company, but for the cycle that it is into, we saw pricing erosion happening in the last couple or triple of quarters across the industry. Do you think it is continuing or it is settling down with more and more supply chain coming in across all therapies?
Yeah, I believe that the situation will continue. We saw at the time what happens to the oil price, the coal price, and the other commodities. I think the main way to address that is by having very, very good supply chain. For example, we are primarily go by sea and not by air. We are going into renewable energy now. Actually, our ESG is very much subscribed into that part of the stuff. Our dependence on a single market, including China, is very less. So I think we are going to see this kind of stuff, and the winner will be those that will have much more efficient supply chain.
Growth for Indian pharmaceutical companies in US has come in with new launches, moving towards complex, moving towards new therapies. What do you think are high growth areas over the next few years? It's biosimilars, complex drugs. What essentially do you believe are the next growth areas for Indian pharma companies in US and some of the other markets?
I believe that in the case of generics, it will be primarily the complex injectable products and biosimilars. But naturally, the other place is to go into areas in which you have more of a brand play, especially leveraging the digital. So we do have platforms now with Amazon and other means in order to go with the direct-to-consumer brands, especially nutraceutical and OTC. And for other Indian players, they will play in the specialty. We hope that in the Horizon 2, we will be able to launch our first NCE outside in the United States as well as globally. Having said all of that, the US being very, very important market for us, it's not the only market, and whatever we do, it's going to be a global play.